Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Herding Squirrels, a podcast about modern teams. Today's guest, Gowri Sivaraman, is a visionary technology leader with over 25 years of experience shaping multi-million-dollar products across the globe. She's built and scaled digital consumer, small business, and fintech solutions that millions rely on every day, from AI-driven platforms to the devices we use in our pockets. Known for blending big-picture vision with hands-on execution, Gowri has a track record of turning ideas into innovations that not only engage users, but also fuel significant business growth. Gowri, welcome. We're excited to have you today.
Excited to be here, Brandon. Thanks for having me.
So our first build, Gowri, is I'd like you to build a model that tells a story about who you are outside of work.
Yeah, so this is mine. So you asked me what's me outside of work, and I like to think of me as somebody who likes to build things and like grow things. So this is me back in my garden. I have my own garden bed. These are some plants, and I also use technology to make sure that all these plants are set up correctly. This is the irrigation system that I'm setting up on a regular basis with all the automated stuff, and I am hugely into automation. So anything that I can automate, I completely automate in my backyard. So this is me.
Wow. What is one of your favorite automations?
My favorite automation, let me tell you, my wish list in the automation is to have a robot that can do a lot of things around for me in my house. That's the favorite part. But what I do like, and I constantly use with holidays coming, I use a lot of automated lights and things that can automatically turn on, turn off, and I use quite a bit of that.
Awesome. That's fantastic. Thank you, Gowri. For our next build, Gowri, I'd like you to think of the best team experience you've ever been a part of and build a model that shows why it was so amazing.
Okay, so here is my model. So you'll see, you asked me a question about what is the best team and why. And here is an example of it. And I'll say that you look into the model and you will see that it has a lot of growth in it. It shows it starts flat and then it's constantly grows. And for me, the biggest thing that I'll say, I've built and I've developed, grown people across the board many times, but the best teams are always teams that you can hold each other accountable for and really have fun while doing greater things. So the team that comes to mind is the current team that I am part of. I'm part of QuickBooks Capital and Lending, and this is an Intuit flagship product. What I really like about this team is we started back in COVID, and we were just starting to prove out the product. And now over the course of last 5 to 7 years, this product has become such a key element for Intuit, and we are crushing it. The team is crushing it on all cylinders, and the growth has come up not just from a product perspective but also individually. So the team has matured, the systems has matured, and the software is really being able to be used by customers on all levels. So that's a team that comes to mind, and this is you can think of this as me watching the team grow and watching the products and our capabilities grow, and you will see that it's still reaching higher and higher and higher.
That does the eyeball piece on the top there, does that have any significant meaning?
Yeah, so the thing around eyeball is as it grows, as the team's sizes grow, the technology grows, you have to keep your eyes on the overall metrics and KPIs. That's why the eyeball is here. You never take your eye out of sight in terms of what you want for the customer and what you want for your technology system. So having a stable base, but still continuing to grow.
That's fantastic. I love it. Wonderful, Gowri. Now, I want you to go in the opposite direction now. I want you to think of what's the most nightmare team scenario you've ever been a part of. And build a model that tells a story of why do you think that team operated in that way?
So here is the model. You can see it.
Ooh, yes.
This was really long time ago, early on in my career, and the way I think about some of these hard scenarios are, there was a time when everybody in the team was running separately in different directions, and we all forgot what is our collective goal that we were going to achieve. And here you will see like this person running in a different direction, this person going differently, this person is going up and up. And really it goes to show that if you don't have a shared vision and if you don't have one common goal for the entire team to achieve, then no matter how quickly you get things done, you can't collectively achieve something great.
I like that. Why do you think that happens?
Um, I think it happens when people are just, it's all the right intention, but they don't step back and take the time to think about what is the end goal and how do you connect what you do to the bigger outcome that you want to achieve. So sometimes when you just focus on the micro stuff, you are just really good in achieving the micro stuff, but you lose sight of the macro. What does it really mean? And you have to bring that back.
Makes sense. I like how you put the positive intention. Everyone means well, but sometimes we just meander on our own way. We get distracted.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, let's do one more build. And so for this next build, we've been through a lot in the last 5-ish years, and you said this team came together right around that COVID time, and that was very impactful on everyone. And
Yeah.
now we have remote and hybrid work, and now AI is everywhere. I'd like you to build a model that shows what it's like to lead through uncertainty. How do you guide your team through these challenging times?
So here is a model. You will see that there is a lot of steps here, and also there is some kind of headwind or tailwind if you look at it. So the way I think about it is there is a lot of flex currently, and in general software goes through a lot, engineering teams goes through a lot, and the constant is change. Always there is so much change that happens, and the way that you can really be prepared of it is to know what is happening in the market, get yourself the right tools that you can at least know what is happening and how you can use it. So there is a constant learning curve, right? So in terms of adaptability to the market is a key as you think about leading teams. One of the things I tell my team is, first of all, just understanding the current dynamics and really understand what are our strengths and what are our opportunities on, even from a learning standpoint. If there is new tools out there, like you talked about AI is changing the way that everybody does business in a very profound way. Can we start really looking at what does that mean for us? And how can we learn so that we are eventually using it for our own benefits? So, and I also believe in a lot of role modeling this, and that's why you see me climbing up the stairs here. You'll see that I'm slowly climbing up. So the more the team sees me doing it, they believe that this is something that can be learned, that can also be done. So having the right tools and also the learning mindset is a key as you work through a lot of uncertainty. The last one that I will say about teams is to have a clear vision in terms of what you want to achieve. And that's the hardest part when there is a lot of uncertainty around. But as a leader, it's your responsibility to paint that vision for the team so they understand what is the line of sight.
So I'd love to dig a little bit deeper into how are you currently staying on top of what's happening in the market, because it seems
Yeah.
like things are changing, right?
Yeah.
if not daily, not a whole lot longer than that. And I have to imagine you have other peer teams within your organization. You have leaders that have expectations and thoughts and ideas. How are you staying on top of that and then
Yeah,
framing it to make sure your team feels good about
yeah.
where things are going
So
as well?
I will say a few things, like a few tactical things. So I spend some time daily reading what is the latest in the market. Like TLDR AI, for example, is like a 5-minute read. It can give you exactly what is on top of mind on AI, how it is changing the world, right? And then I also attend, as I spend 10% of my time overall in understanding where the industry is going, what are the competitor landscape, how is that shaping the way that fintech is evolving. So that's something that I intentionally do, and I also monitor, like make sure that I allocate time within my calendar to do these kind of events and things. And then the other one is I constantly share my expectations with the team and also my learnings with the team. Like for example, in the last 2 months, I've been to at least two conferences. I got an opportunity to attend Money 2020, Grace Hopper, and each one of them were very unique in their own ways, and it gave me insights into where is the fintech going and where is women in technology going. And I also share blogs with the team so that they understand what are some of the things that we have. Apart from that, we also have a lot of competitor insights and things that we spend. But beyond that, what I also sincerely believe in is that regardless of all the tools and technologies, if you don't like really dabble with it, you don't know. You are just reading it. So that's where a lot of these approved tools and technologies within the workspace that I work currently provides. There is quite a bit of tools that are available to us from Intuit that can really help us accelerate our work, either it is developer productivity or in terms of improving your top of the funnel. So making sure that leaning into experimentation as a way for us to experiment the technology and then put it in the hands of the customer and learn more from it is an area that I constantly invest in.
I really like how you're gathering a lot of external sources that are not just you, and then sharing them with your team and letting them figure out what do they think, what are
Yeah.
their ideas. Do they also have time to experiment, to play? Is that built
Yeah,
into? Yeah.
actually they do. Twice a year we have something called as engineering days here at Intuit. It's called Global Engineering Days. In many companies we are used to giving like a day or two of hackathon, but here we have a whole week, and that's the best like time of an engineer's life, because you come in, you tend to build anything that you like, and it is a lot of fun.
That sounds fun. I love it. I want to go back to something you said in your earlier best team build, and you talked about the team holding each other accountable. Can you say a little bit more about what does that look like, and how did you build that?
Yeah. So, what I mean by holding each other accountable, when we work as teams, there are functional teams, but there are also matrixed cross-functional teams. So it's not enough that one functional team is marching so far ahead. The whole cross-functional team needs to come together to achieve a given project deliverable. Right. So, what I mean by holding teams accountable is we don't have to be abrasive and like against each other, but also not make sure that we are holding the other team. For example, if we don't get our designs on time, or like let's say that we don't have our dashboards that are available to us once the product launches, then we cannot see how the product is going to really behave for a customer. So having some of these easily like called out, and also as part of a checklist before a project rolls out, to say, hey, here are things that are missing, and these are the this is pending from this team, and making that team accountable for it. That's actually the hardest thing as you grow, right? It's not easy to call people out and still be okay with it. But the idea is to take emotions out of it and just be factual about it.
I think that's you're hitting onto a pretty big nugget there, right? The taking the emotions out of that. How do you help teams do that? That sounds that might be the nugget that could be the like if you can
Yeah,
fix that just for everyone right in the world, we'd
yeah.
have like just an amazing time.
It comes a lot with practice, right? And also sticking to data and facts. So instead of trying to say something is not working, just having a clear line of sight into here are the steps to reproduce, this is where it breaks, and laying out that an evidence of what has happened instead of saying this person or that person didn't complete that. So trying to have a data backed view in terms of the problem and the impact can really um, delineate a person to a problem, right? So how do you keep that more focused in terms of what is the problem you're trying to solve, what is the outcome that is causing today, and how should it be better? And then the actual person doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
I, also, you mentioned in your first build is, and we went past it quickly, but having fun. In fact, you said both of those very close to each other. You're holding each other accountable and having fun.
Yeah,
Say a little more about that. Like, how do you build a fun environment?
yeah.
What do you do for fun? And what do you think the benefits of having fun together are?
Yeah, so my favorite movie on having fun is Top Gun. Top Gun Maverick. That if you remember, there is a um, movie scene where they all play flag football, or where they talk about I Ain't Worried song, right? So what I truly believe in is that when you have fun, you also build camaraderie with the team, you build trust, and that goes a long way. We spend a lot of time in doing what we do because we ultimately love what we do, and we also want to have fun. So since you asked how what do I do to have fun, a few things. I love taking the team out just for like dinner or lunch, but other than that, we also do some offsite activities like bowling. Top golf is a very favorite or event outdoor activity within my team. They always seem to have fun every time we do it. And I have learned that once we did an outdoor event with basketball, and I know you said you learned basketball. I didn't learn it, and that was completely new to me, right? And I was really thinking about whether to go in front of the team, show my really novice skills or not. And I ended up doing it, and a few times I was really bad at it, but I kept going for it. And then there was this one team member who came to me and said, you really inspired me. Even though you did not know how to do it, you kept going back at it. That just makes me believe that it's okay to be vulnerable, and it's okay to keep working on it. So I thought that was interesting. So we always try to have some fun element to it, at least a few times in a year, so that the team feels like they're part of the bigger thing.
What a lovely lesson that is, right? That it sounds simple to say to go, be humble and to be okay to fail, especially in front of a group of people you may be leading. But that's hard. That is not an easy, like, to say it's
Yeah,
one thing, but to do it, right? Our inner workings, like there's a pull that we want to be
yeah,
respected. We have a fear of being seen as less than. And I love that your teammate found that so inspiring, and what a great lesson that is. Like, be out. It's okay to fail, especially if it's something right low stakes like basketball.
yeah,
There's no trophy, there's
yeah.
no bonus at the end of that. So that's wonderful. Thank you for sharing the story, Gowri. I think we have time for one more build, and I always love to end with this build. I want to imagine you have a room full of ICs about to embark on their first leadership role. I would like you to build the Gowri leadership advice model. What would you tell this group? And build that into a model for us, please.
Okay, here is my leadership model. For somebody who is just starting on leadership, I will say that you are embarking on a interesting journey, right? And strap in, buckle in, and have fun. The most important thing I will say is be true to yourself as you go into the leadership. It's always about you chose this for a reason and stay true to that, right? In terms of if you are here to help people grow, to help teams achieve greater things, that's your North Star. Always keep your North Star in mind when you make decisions. And here you will see a lot of other additional Lego blocks. Try creating a community for yourself where you can lean in on the community, um, bounce ideas, have discussions, because this is a long road and there are going to be some tough decisions that you will have to do. When you make decisions, you should be okay with it. And having a community of people who you can rely on and have some of these ideas bounced is going to help you in the long run.
Awesome. That's fantastic. Thank you, Gowri. So I have to ask, Gowri, what was it like building your thoughts and ideas out of Lego bricks?
It's an interesting way to put things to perspective. This is the first time I've done it, but I think it's really good because the more I start putting things together, I can relate to what you're saying. Like, oh, this is why I am building it, right? So I start building it, and then I things come to my mind. So it's an interesting way. So it was fun.
Awesome. Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, Gowri, if our listeners want to find more of you out on the internet, is there any place that they can find you?
Yeah, they can find me on LinkedIn. They can look me up on LinkedIn, and I'm active there.
All right, wonderful. We'll make sure to include that in our show notes. Gowri, this has been a blast. Thank you so much for sharing your stories and insights with us today.
Yeah, thank you, Brandon. Thanks for having me.
And thanks everyone for listening. Again, this is Herding Squirrels, where we uncover the nuts and bolts of teams.